For those that would rather not go to the trouble of making a positive AMA retention device, such as I've detailed in my earlier videos, and would like to keep the simplicity of the factory supplied bungees, there is one thing you can do. You can make it fairly simply that will, at the minimum, double whatever safety factor a bungee may have. This is a piece of heavy-duty truck tire sidewall. When I say it's tough, that's an understatement. There's 2 or 3 aramid belts running through the middle of this. Simply punching the holes is not an easy thing to do. It requires sharp tools, strong tools. This is probably the toughest piece that you'll find on a Hobie kayak. What we're going to do is remove this bungee, pull one of our attachment pieces out, undo the knot, and then we're going to run the bungee through the back side of this piece, back down here and back into this fitting. But we're also going to put a knot midway through that bungee cord. What this does, now we will have one bungee that actually functions more like 2 in terms of safety. If one side of the bungee should break under this system, everything goes and you may have a catastrophic failure. The AMA is probably going to come off if it's on the windward side. With a knot here, if one side or the other of our bungee were to come loose, the knot simply pulls down to the next hole and you still have half of your system with a positive attachment. Now you may get some slap, but the AMA is not going to come completely off in a catastrophic failure. You should be able to get things together and get to shore and make a repair. Now you might ask, won't this knot simply pull through this rubber? Absolutely not. You don't need to back it with anything unless you cut the holes overly large. Again, this stuff is tough, nearly bulletproof. If you want to stay with bungees and using the same rubber yoke that we used just a moment ago, swap out the single 5/16 inch bungee for 2 1/4 inch bungees. And by the way, the black core stuff is much stronger, more resilient, longer wearing than the white core stuff. Keep that in mind. The black is solid core rubber. The white is generally a multi-strand. Same thing. Now we've got 2 individual bungees. If one were to break for whatever reason, you're not going to have a catastrophic failure. The AMA will stay on the ACA at least until you can get to shore and enact a repair. Also, with the 2 1/4 inch bungees, we actually have greater resistance to the AMA bouncing or dropping off the ACA than we did with a single 5/16 inch bungee, and yet we don't put as much pressure on any of the fittings or the components. We also, with our rubber yoke, say goodbye to pinched fingers. There you go. Until next time.